Two, one. We should be live. Okay, we are live. Hello, Facebook family. Thank you all so much for joining us for this call. This is not our fifth annual. Let me just put that disclaimer out there. So there was a glitch. This is the fourth year celebration, but we next year is just going to be year 5 2.0. That's it. Oh my goodness. You know, things happen when you have a lot going on in life, and for some reason, I'm not sure what happened, but we made an error and we're human, so we're just gonna go with it. But I just wanted to put that out there just in case next year when you see it, you're not like, wasn't it year 5 last year? So we're just gonna ask that all who can and will please share this live video. All the participants are here eagerly waiting to share their stories and to celebrate with you all. I want everyone that is in Facebook land, if you're in the comments, please give them a warm welcome with some hand claps for being the 2025 Women's History Month virtual celebration nominees. And because of you, these beautiful women are here today. So we won't belabor the time anymore because I know that a ton of people were waiting and my phone is blowing up and everyone is like, where are you guys? Where are you guys? So we're a few minutes late. And it was not the intention, but we're a few minutes late and it is what it is. So we're going to start right away. 1 second, I just have to copy this. 1 second, my apologies for Dr. Speaks. All right. Okay. So welcome to the Burney-Speaks Life Consulting 2025 Women's History Month celebration. I want to thank all of you beautiful women for accepting your nominations to be a part of this virtual event. I'm excited when I seen the names come through. I was excited, because I've watched many of you for years. Some of you may be of relation, hint, hint. And it has just been a journey, and a blessing watching you all grow because growth is a great thing. And let me tell you something, these women have done that. They not only are movers and shakers in their respective industries, but they have grown from the day that I met them or the day that we first interacted on Facebook into where they are today. We have one nominee that I didn't know so well, and she blew me away with the things that she's involved in during our meeting. And so, just like I was blown away, I am wanting you all to be prepared to be equally as blown away. So for those of you who know me and for those of you who do not, my name is Shondell Burney-Speaks. I am the owner of Burney-Speaks Life Consulting LLC. Excuse my allergies. I don't know why. Why are my allergies messing with me at this moment? Um, I have been a coaching consultant certified for the past 8.5 years. I have been coaching, consulting, and facilitating for the past 30 years. I am a TEDx speaker, 2017. I have been nominated for various awards and Lifetime Achievement Awards. I am in the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Hall of Fame of the City of Providence. I have received the Rosa Parks Award from the NAACP. I am a part of the Marquise America's Who's Who. My goodness. And I also have an international award, and that is all I'll share because it's not about me. It's about these beautiful women. But I want you guys to know and understand who is amongst you. You are amongst some amazing powerhouses. And if you don't know these ladies, and if you don't know me, let's connect. Let's build, because with me, I love to meet a new woman who is doing things, who is shaking and moving in her community. And I love, love, love a good collaboration. And so I am going to, well, we're going to skip that part, okay? I am going to introduce the nominees, okay? I am going to introduce the nominees. And first off, we have Contessa Brown. Contessa Brown, a Newport native of Rhode Island, thriving in Providence. Contessa is a spoken word artist, a motivational speaker, a pre-licensed clinician, and a life coach dedicated to helping individuals reclaim their confidence, heal, and live authentically. Contessa is the founder of Cafe Soul in Queen's Closet. As the Cafe Soul, as the CEO of Cafe Soul, a 15-year staple in Rhode Island's creative community, she fosters connection through open mics, art shows, and networking events. Her nonprofit, Queen's Closet, provides clothing to domestic violence survivors, empowering women to embrace their worth. She's a clinician, speaker, and coach, as we mentioned. She has two master's degrees, okay, including one in holistic clinical counseling. Contessa serves clients at Serene Way, LLC, and Dyad Psychology, LLC, through Countess Wellness Coaching. She offers tailored coaching and workshops on confidence, burnt out recovery, body positivity, and more. Her mission: she is passionate about destigmatizing mental health in the BIPOC and Christian communities. Contessa empowers generational healing and inspires growth through creativity, wellness, and connection. Contessa, could you give us a wave? Yay, Contessa. Next up, we have Khadijah Lewis Khan. Khadijah is a trailblazer in early childhood education. For 26 years, Khadijah Lewis Khan has served as the executive director of Beautiful Beginnings Child Care Center, transforming the lives of nearly 2,000 children through high quality early education. Under her leadership, Beautiful Beginnings has become a model of excellence in earning the highest quality rating in Rhode Island and ensuring that children, particularly those from underserved communities, receive a strong foundation of lifelong success. Khadijah is a relentless advocate for child care equity. Khadijah has fought for increased investments in early education, fair wages for child care professionals, and policies that support working families. She's testified before Congress and has been recognized in major platforms for her leadership in addressing Rhode Island's child care crisis. At the 25-year anniversary celebration of Beautiful Beginnings, she last launched a scholarship for Beautiful Beginning graduates who are now in college, awarding $1,700, I believe, to three alums who are now college students. Wow. Khadijah's commitment to mentorship, family engagement, and leadership. She is deeply committed to mentorship and workforce development, helping to shape the next generation of early childhood educators. She partners with local colleges and high schools, including Community College of Rhode Island College, the Met School. And through these partnerships, she provides internships and hands-on experiences for students pursuing careers in early education. She has also mentored Rhode Island Foundation emerging leaders, fellowship members, guiding future social impact leaders. Her advocacy goes beyond child-centered policies. She is a tireless voice for early educators demanding fair wages, professional recognition, and sustainable support for those shaping young lives. By ensuring that educators are compensated and valued, she strengthens the entire early uh, education system by benefiting generations to come. Khadijah, could you give us a wave? This is Khadijah Lewis Khan. Yes, 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 yes. What a powerhouse. Let's keep it moving. Who else do we have? We have Minister Livani Sandoval. Livani is a fiery woman of God who passionately equips women to draw closer to Jesus and boldly step into their divine purpose. As a dynamic preacher, coach, and mentor, she pours wisdom and truth into those seeking transformation. Livani is the founder of the You Still Matter community, where she reminds people that their value remains intact despite life's mistakes and failures. She is also the author of Reestablished, a devoted mother of two and a proud first generation college graduate. Her deepest desire is to help others see themselves through the eyes of God. Wow, Livani, give us a wave. Welcome, welcome, Livani. Now we have Carlene Fonseca. Colleen Patricia Fonseca, that is. Carlene Fonseca is a first generation Cape Verdean American, proud mother, and founder of The Greatest You Consulting, a passionate advocate for mental health, recovery, and generational healing. Carlene has transformed her own journey through trauma and addiction into life of purpose, supporting others to heal, grow, and thrive. With a background in education, public service, and community leadership, she uses her voice and lived experiences to empower women, families, and underserved communities to reclaim their power and walk boldly in their truth. Carlene, could you give us a wave? Let's welcome her to the call. Carlene, yes, thank you so much. Woo, guys, these are some powerful women. All right, next up, we have Pam Bird. Senior Pastor Pamela Bird is the senior pastor to Trinity Tabernacle Church in Rumford, Rhode Island, where her mother was the founder and overseer for 35 years until she went to her heavenly home in September 2018. Pam was born in Boston, Mass. She is the eldest out of 7 children of the late overseer Mary Ann Jones and the late overseer Joseph L. Jones. She has 1 son and 2 daughters, and she adores who she adores and is a grandmother of Jasmine and Sophia. She is also married to the love of her life, Robert Bird. Presently, she is a prayer warrior with Let's Pray Wednesday and Corporate Prayer New England. She is in various organizations throughout the community in the city of East Providence, and became the secretary of the Ministers Alliance of Rhode Island. As of July 2024, the Lord has assigned Pastor Pam to be the interim pastor of Greater Harvest Outreach Ministries, where she is preaching and encouraging words to move forward in God. Thank you so much, Pastor Pam, and welcome to the call. Give everybody a wave. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I need a breath and I don't have any water because these women are on fire. Next up, we have Wendy Grossman. Wendy is an activities therapist and coordinator of the Healing Arts Program at Butler Hospital, a psychiatric hospital located in Providence, Rhode Island. She has over 25 years experience in utilizing the arts as a tool of engagement to promote individual and collective well-being in a variety of communities, including working with adults experiencing homelessness, adults with mental illness, adults with physical and developmental disabilities in recovery from substance abuse, and with elder adults and youth. Wendy is a writer who writes poetry, memoirs, and personal essays. Her work has been published in the New York Times, Mom Egg Review Online, and her debut poetry chapbook, Dream Cycle in My Days and Nights with John Leguizamo, was recently published by Bottle Cap Press. Her blog on cross-racial connection, unlearning whiteness, and other writings can be found at www.wendyjanegrossman.com. Wendy has two adult daughters who she adores and who sometimes show up in her writings. Welcome to the call, Wendy. Give us a wave. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My goodness. Um, Last but not least, right? Nope, we have two more. Okay, now we have Michelle Fonts. Did I pronounce your name right? Because I'm so used to calling this woman Mish. We have Mish Fonts, a mother, a daughter, an artist, an educator, a lifelong learner. She is passionate about restorative practice. She's a practitioner dedicated to cultivating spaces where individuals feel seen, heard, and valued. With a deep commitment to community building, she combines creativity and intentional care to foster environments that promote belonging and mutual respect through the power of art, relationship building, and and culturally relevant curriculum. She is an educator who works to design experiences that engage and empower youth, encouraging leadership development and nurturing their innate potential with a focus on dismantling oppressive systems that specifically affect Black and Brown communities. She works to create spaces where healing, connection, and transformation can take place and are centered. She believes that through authentic relationships and a focus on youth empowerment, we can challenge and rewrite the narratives that have historically marginalized voices. Through this work, it is her way of contributing to a larger movement of justice, equity, and inclusion our communities so desperately need. Mish, give us a wave and give her a hand. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the call. I don't think, am I missing? I'm missing a bio. Those were the bios that I have. If you sent your bio to me when it was requested, please say something in Zoom because I do not have it. Dr. Speaks has probably been waiting to enter the call for a while. And my apologies as I was in the other screen reading the bios. So, wow.
Hello?
Wow.
Hello?
Yes,
Yes, I think you forgot my bio.
I don't have it.
Oh, pretty sure I sent it to you.
I don't have it. I just screened all of my emails before I got on the call.
Okay.
Can you resend it and I could read it? Can you resend?
Okay.
Okay. I didn't mean to go on mute. And Dr. Speaks is not available at this present moment, but I want to let you guys know a little bit about Dr. Speaks. She is a retired military. She is an international speaker, best-selling author, multiple anthologies, a woman of faith, a woman of courage, a woman who just loves other women. She is someone who opens up her platform and shares her wealth and knowledge with people who she knows and does not even know. Baby, that is my auntie, Dr. Betty Speaks. And when she comes to the call and when she is able to share more of who she is, be ready to hold on to your seats because you might get blown away. Okay. Woo! Oh my gosh. I need everyone to give themselves a round of applause because that was a lot. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I was so excited to receive all of those beautiful bios and just to take a glimpse of them and read them. I am just blown away by the things that you all are doing and the things that you all have accomplished thus far because there is more, okay? There is more. Pastor Shirley Hood, I am searching your name in my email and I still don't have it. Um, so when you're able to send it, don't worry. We definitely want to give you that opportunity for everyone to hear your bio and who you are and what it is that you're doing. So we have Dr. Speaks on the call, and she will be sharing shortly. She will be coming with some encouraging words surrounding our theme, and be ready. I hope everyone on this call and I hope everyone watching on Facebook Live has a pencil and a paper. Okay? Make sure that you are grabbing every single gem that is about to be dropped and do not allow the gems to hit the floor. Pick up what these ladies are putting down. Okay? And so each one of our honorees will have up to 3 minutes to share who they are and what they do for the communities that they serve. They can share anything that I did not already read in their bio. So think about what you want to share. They don't want to know what I just read in y'all bio because they just heard it. So you have 3 minutes, and if anybody knows me, you know that I set timers. And yeah, you have 3 minutes to share. So what we're going to do is we are going to start to the left of my screen, and to the left of my screen, well, it's opposite of what you guys see, but Wendy is on my left, baby, okay? Wendy, you have 3 minutes, my dear, to share up to 3 minutes. You don't have to take the whole 3 minutes. If anyone needs grace, you have 3.5 minutes. So if if you need the entire 3 minutes, feel free. But Wendy, could you tell us something about you that was not shared, or something about you that you think that people really should know? Who is Wendy Grossman?
Okay, thank you. And again, I'm just so grateful to be here with everyone tonight and be alongside so many amazing women doing extraordinary things. So thank you for having me. I guess a few things I can say. I didn't say where I was from. I grew up in Waterbury, Connecticut. Um, I lived in New York City for a long time and in Tulsa, Oklahoma for a couple of years, which was different. And I've been in Providence for 18 years now. And let's see what else. I'm an empty nester now. I think I didn't mention that my daughters have flown the nest. So just me and my cat Belle for now these days. One thing that's been on my mind, I guess, is that my path has been not a straight linear path, and that I don't know if I always love the term late bloomer, but I feel like I've been a late bloomer in so many ways that everything that I've come to, I've maybe done later than a lot of girls or women in terms of just finding my path and what did I want to do in my life and finding love and getting married and having children and all those things, and writing, which is like such a huge part of my life now. I didn't start until my 40s and I'm now in my 60s. So I think what I'm thinking of is that it's just never too late to begin anything, to change, to grow, and to try new things. So oh, and finally, I'm thinking about an experience right now that I'm a part of the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship that started in February, ends in May. And so, because I'm so passionate about using art in my work and working with other, folks going through things, that now I'm connecting with people doing this work that I hadn't thought about, like in India and in Hong Kong and in Nigeria and South America. So that's a big growth thing for me right now. Thank you. Yeah.
Wow, powerful. Thank you so much for that. I'm gonna challenge you guys, you ladies, sorry, because Wendy hit the nail on the head. And so when I was thinking about you all sharing your 3 minutes, I want you to think beyond your possessions. I want you to think beyond your titles. I want you to think beyond your bank accounts. Because if you didn't have any of those things, who are you? So think about that as you're sharing, um, because it's really important for us to understand who we are as we're navigating this life and we're sharing our stories with people. Do you know how many women don't even know who they are without their possessions, without their titles, without their C-suites, without their homes and their cars? They do not know who they are. And so next I will go to my right and I have Contessa Brown.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, Wendy, I said, what? 60 where? Ah, girl, you looking good. Once again, my name is Contessa Brown, and who am I? I'm definitely a multi-hyphenate. I did forget that to put that on my author. I'm just saying, I forgot to put that in there. But that's okay. That'll be for different events. But who am I? I'm compassionate. I'm loving. I am a person who loves to help people. That's who I am. Even if I'm in a grocery store, like people come up to me and talk to me because that's how God had made me, a very personable person, just to be able to be there, to be safe space in any of the spaces I occupy. Um, I love to dance. I don't know if some of y'all like see some of the dance videos I put up there, especially Afro beats. That is what gets me going. That is a part of my self-care routine actually. Is making sure to like get in some movement and some fun movement. So if it's any type of I'm a piano or Afro beats, I'm gonna be there. I'm a foodie. I love going to different types of restaurants and trying out different foods, and coffees and teas and stuff like that. So that's a little something that I do like to do on my off time. I my mom just reminded me I like to collect coins, you guys. I forgot that I had a coin collection because so the other day she gave me like two Sacagawea dollar coins. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that passion. So those are some of my quirks and passions about me. I'm also a writer. I love to write. It's a way for me to express myself, release emotions, and of course, being a spoken word artist, that's just the foundation of who I am. I love to talk. All my report card said, "Oh, she's such an intelligent kid, but she's too talkative." But that's too talkative to get me paid now, so yeah, it worked out. And I'm also a fiance. Okay, there you go.
Awesome. I'm loving this. I'm loving this energy. I am loving this energy and I'm loving the time commitment. Y'all are just like popping out the answers and on time. We're gonna go Hollywood Squares, and next up we have Livani Sandoval.
Good evening, everyone. Wow, I'm so inspired already, and we're only a couple of minutes in. But my name is Livani, and she read my bio. So, the things that I would like to say about myself is basically, I was that young girl in seventh grade who got pregnant, doing what everybody else was doing, but I was just the one that got caught. I was the little girl that nobody's mom wanted her hanging. Nobody's mother wanted them hanging with this fast little girl. I was the one as a young girl that it was like, listen, stay away from her. She's no good. And I sat for years just not understanding how I made a mistake and there was just no grace and no hope. And so, I am a daughter of two Dominican immigrants' parents. Thank God that they was able to come to the United States of America. They came here with one mentality, and that was to make money by any means necessary. And so I grew up with two parents that were drug dealers, right? My story is just so much that it's kind of like, hey, this is the world. Go out there, make all the mistakes you can, and that's the way that you are going to learn. And so growing up, that was kind of my life, mistake after mistake after mistake. And it's just like, oh, I didn't know. Nobody told me what to do. And then I started to get in environments where I came across people who said, hey, this is maybe what you should do. And I realized that I can actually learn if somebody teaches me what to do, right? And this is basic stuff, but guys, it might sound basic and cliche, but there are some young ladies, even men who are growing up and just don't know the right thing to do. It has to be taught. And that's why I appreciate people who are in early education and all those kind of things because it takes a village, right? It takes a village. And for me, unfortunately, it was the outside world that I had to get help from. And so I, at a very young age, started learning by watching people. I would watch my friends' mothers do certain things. I'd sit at a table and just listen to other people. And I self-educated myself. And in the midst of all that, I received salvation, which was like the biggest turning point of my life. And when I said yes to the Lord, I started to learn characteristics that are just way beyond who I was. And so when the Lord delivered me, I said one thing. I cannot imagine how many women are out in this world that have no idea who they are because they was destroyed at such a young age. And so that's my passion. That is who I am. I'm the mother of two amazing children that I always say and I decree that they're going to impact this nation. And so that little girl that I gave birth to at 14 is now at the Louisiana State University. And, she's doing things and it's just like, ah. And I just want to say this because we're on here with all these powerful women. One day I was with a friend, very young, and her mother said right in front of me, didn't I tell you I didn't want you hanging with this fast little girl as if I was nobody, as if I was nothing? And then one day I saw her when I was older and she said, I apologize for what I said to you. And she asked me to pray for her daughter. And so there is hope, there is victory, and I'm just on this earth to contribute to the elevation of every woman, and not even us, but those in the future that I will not meet. So thank you guys for having me. Shondell, you are amazing. Thank you for putting this together, and I'm excited for the night.
Thank you so much, Livani. Livani, is there a book?
Yeah, but you mentioned it in the bio, so I was like, let me.
Okay, all right. I need the link.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
yeah. All right,
All
I'm
right.
gonna go ahead of myself. Oh, goodness.
It's on Amazon, reestablished. I had to tell the world through writing as well, because I know that I might not reach everyone, but it's there. So I'll definitely send that to you.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes, I did read that. This is what happens when you need a cup of tea. But I did read that, and I am looking forward to reading that book because when I met you, your testimony, it was just so powerful. Like I felt like a gush of wind just like hit me. It was so unbelievable that you're even still standing. So yes, thank you so much for that. Hollywood Squares, we are going to go to Pastor Pam Bird.
God.
Hi everyone. I'm still trying to. I just got home. I'm so sorry, but
It's okay. Do you need a few more minutes?
I do. I
Okay,
do.
don't worry about it.
Okay,
Take a
thank
deep
you.
breath. You and Pastor Hood, I know you were together, so if you need a few minutes, she needs a few minutes. We will go this way. and we will call on Carlene Fonseca.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm so blessed to be in this space with you all. And what do I want to share? I want to share that I'm a woman who has walked through fire and has come out the other side, choosing to love myself. And I wasn't always that way. I was a person who put everybody and everything before me until I realized that healing required to put me first. So now I lead with self love, self acceptance. I prioritize my rest. I embrace movement and solitude. And I'm proud of that. I'm not only proud of like the work that I do in the community, I'm proud of how I treat myself first and foremost, because if I'm no good to myself, I'm no good for anyone. And I was a person in 7th grade who was skipping school, who was smoking cigarettes before school. And nobody ever asked me what was wrong, what happened, why was I acting up. I was a straight A student before then. And I had experienced sexual abuse as a child. And my cry went unheard. Right. And so now I try to create spaces where people don't have to suffer in silence. I gave birth alone. I was trapped in an abusive relationship, and I turned to drugs and alcohol because it was the only coping strategy I knew. Right. And it wasn't until I was able to seek out help and go to Butler Hospital that I got into recovery. And now I am the person that I serve the people that I once was. And I always remind myself I can be in that place in 1 second. So I keep my mental health first and foremost. I prioritize my recovery, and I try to show up and be that example for people, that you can be vulnerable, you can be authentic, because mental health trauma, it doesn't discriminate. It shows up wherever you are. And as someone who turned their pain into purpose, I am now a mother who is able to pass on positive coping strategies, to pass on tools, to pass on the importance of mental health to my daughter so that we don't continue this cycle of generational trauma. I'm very committed to passing on generational healing. So thank you all. And I am an author as well, published, and I'm working on my own memoir because I feel like everybody has a story to tell.
Powerful. Thank you so much for that. Before we move on, I'm going to read Pastor Shirley Jones' bio. Pastor Shirley Hood is a multifaceted individual who now serves as assistant pastor at Trinity Tabernacle, Inc. She is an accomplished entrepreneur, TV producer, event manager, songwriter, and spiritual advisor for a transitional home for women and children. She is now a first-time author of her brand new book called The Covenant of God's Love. Furthermore, she hosts her talk show on air for over a decade. She also hosts a podcast called Living Life on Purpose for women. Despite facing various challenges, Pastor Hood is a mother of 2 sons that she loves dearly. Through the grace of God, Pastor Shirley Hood rose above the ashes through her unrelenting faith. Thank you so much for sending that to me. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. And are you ready? You could just jump in, get your 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you so much. I count it a privilege and an honor to be honored tonight. This is quite the big deal. I'm so blessed to be accompanied by so many powerful and beautiful women that I've known so well. I can just name a few that I have worked with, but I'm just so blessed today. My whole endeavor is to reach women and all phases of life. I am a certified peer recovery specialist where I work closely with women who are in recovery. I don't know if Colleen recalls that we have worked together in the same meeting. I don't know if she remembers seeing my face there at the RAFA project. That's who I work for. So I counted a privilege to, just be among women and to be a support to women who needs support, because there's a lot of women out there that are suffering with mental health and substance abuse and trauma. And so my endeavor is to be not just that peer, but to be a support to them all. And I just look forward to not only being a support to women, but to the community as well. And I just finished up my third book called The Life of a Butterfly. It's a book that is going to be, has been published through Amazon. And I'm having a book launch on next month. I will share that on my pages. But I just look forward to being a help to support to every single woman or anybody out there that needs help. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. That was beautiful. Yeah, Rhode Island is what, 6? I think it's like 3 degrees of separation, honestly. You're always gonna know someone that knows someone, and you're always gonna end up in a meeting with someone and then end up seeing them somewhere. And it's like, hey, I know you. So that's what I love about being here. That's the only thing I love about being here, is how small it is and that we get to know each other. But guys know I want to move. Anyway, I digress. Next up, we're going to ask Pastor Pam if she's ready to share.
Good evening, everybody. She always says she wants to move. But anyway, she's our very own. And it's good to see everyone and all the women. I tell you, last night we was talking about we're doing it. We're doing it. So now our job is to empower other women. And I am so proud to be part of this. And my passion is women and children. And my passion is to educate, release, and talk about it. Because you know what? There's a lot of us that are holding so much in, and we can't move forward because we hold so much in. So in my preaching, I try to, let me see, I want to use the right word. Not so much churchy. I think I heard my cousin talk about that. I need to be real. It's time to be real. And I am going to say this because I have to, but Jesus was talking, he even taught not church people. He was talking to the streets, he was talking to women, he was talking to men that had issues. And let's just be real and say, I am impassioned with people that have issues so that it helps me too. And so we all want to see people grow. We're tired of being stagnant and tired of seeing people stagnant. So that's my passion, and that's it. I'm sorry if I took too long.
You have time.
Okay.
You did that in 2 minutes. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, but even in her preaching, it is very practical. In her Bible studies, it's very practical. And I love that about you, that you make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to get it. So thank you for that, because every leader does not lead in that way. And there's a time where you got to get cut off from the milk and you got to
Yeah.
grow up, but you do give those opportunities for that practical teaching, and I thank you for that. Next up, Hollywood Squares. We're going over to Michelle Fonts.
Hey everyone. When I was first nominated, the first thing was like, what? Like me? And so when I read the theme of her story and her why, immediately I'm thinking of imposter syndrome that I have lived with most of my life. And so the way that I express myself is through spoken word. So I hope it's okay that I'm gonna share one with everybody now, about my why. I'm a little nervous. I wrote this especially for this, so this is my first time reciting it. Before I knew my name, it had already been spoken with authority. But like, a quiet, urgent whisper, like when you're in church getting antsy and your nana purses her lips together real tight and says, be quiet while the pastor's talking, baby. Yeah, that kind of authoritative whisper. I imagine it was a love letter straight to my mother's ears. Michelle A. Fonts. Strange, I was a contradiction before I even got here. Before I took my first breath, God had already carved my purpose into the stars. Can you imagine a constellation announcing me to the world? I wasn't an accident, and my path wasn't random. I wasn't a mistake, and every twist, every turn, yeah, even every hurt turns out was intentional. God has been an alchemist over my life, filling every intentional crack he made in me with gold. I was crafted by divine hands, crowned with grace before the fire ever tried to consume me. But the reality is, like many Black women, the world came for me early. It tried to ink its own story in my skin, the rumors and lies and assumptions like needles. I'm just waiting for it to be numb. Before I even knew love, they called me temptation. Before I proved my wisdom, they questioned my mind. Before I built my chair, they told me I didn't belong at any table. Paint me in strokes of stereotypes, statistics, and deficit mindsets. Shape me in shadows instead of light. But baby, didn't you know that shadows are where my ancestors found protection along the Underground Railroad? Shadows provide important creative contrast in photography and art. Shadows give a cool breeze on a hot day. Shadows are the silent companion that walks with us every day of our lives. Proof that we're not alone. So please choose your weapon carefully when facing me. I've walked in rooms where doubt clung to my lungs like smoke, internally gasping for life. Because the smugness of those who repulse at having to share air with someone like me is thick. Thick enough to suffocate the last breath of confidence from my body. It already took everything in me to will my legs to move through this door. Rooms where side eyes and whispers, wondering how I got there or who I was, coconut oil trailing behind me, bamboo earrings swinging, braids or locks, and layered clothes with sneakers. Because if I have to be uncomfortable, I'm going to at least be comfortable. You feel me? Unapologetically, this is how I show up. And it's funny, I can see the shift as I approach, side eyes straightening, forced smiles become plastered on their faces, and a fake, hey, Mish, slips out as their body language becomes uncomfortable. Multiple times, it made me question myself. Do I belong here? Better yet, do I even want to be here? With people watching and waiting for me to stumble, doubting how I could shape worlds with the same exact hands they expected to only serve, to only soothe, to only stay still. But one thing about fire, y'all, it will not be contained. It can't be after a certain point. My burning purpose has always been to serve people. I have known that at a very young age. Mother, daughter, sister, aunt, friend, caretaker, learner, educator, mentor, artist, organizer. In every role I play, that part is the part I enjoy the most. Helping people, my people. And so I had to spend time understanding what it meant to burn bright without burning out. To be a flame that warms, that lights the way, that builds, that lights other candles, not one that destroys. Brick by brick, relationship by relationship, oppressive event by oppressive event by oppressive people over and over again, but by turning bare earth into soil that can grow legacy, by centering community, collaboration, and care. Be good soil, Mish, a mentor once told me. Continuously fighting to lift others, simultaneously my world could be shattering, and I've heard them whisper, how? Not knowing it was stitched into my very being, woven intricately into prayers of my ancestors who covered me in protection before the world could cover me in filth. Pressed into my bones like a potter molds clay by God who has called me worthy. These hands, scarred but steady, gentle yet unshaken, hold power. Not because the world allowed it, but because it was always mine to hold. They underestimated the fire in my blood because the gentleness of my spirit mocked the wisdom in my bones because I embraced change, forgot the legacy that carried me here and will continue to carry me further. But walking in purpose doesn't mean that you won't be tested. I've had moments alone in my car, hiding my worries from my children, crying out into an empty void, God, I need you. You've crowned me with purpose, but it comes with its weight. Heavy is the head. I know that, but Father, please, I don't know if I can carry this any longer. I haven't heard his voice or physically seen his image, but he answered through those closest to me. Imposter syndrome can paralyze an already wounded soul, but he reminded me I may be wounded, but I'm not dead. And so I stand. I won't shrink. I won't fold under pressure. Instead, I'll rise like the phoenix's tail that is inked on my skin. The fire didn't consume me. It did burn away the doubt, the fear, the weight of expectations until only my essence remained raw, resilient, reborn. I'll raise from the ashes, not as who they tried to make me, but as who I always was meant to be. Every fall has become fuel. Every fall has become fuel. Every setback, a spark. Every tear, a reminder that even in destruction, there is creation. I am the fire. I am the flight. I am the rebirth. On mornings when I'm drained, my purpose is my strength. On nights when tears hit my pillow, understanding my why is my peace. When I doubt myself, my story reminds me I am deliberate and afraid of nothing. Miss Audrey Lorde echoes through my brain. Thank you, Lord, for using my idols. So I move in alignment with my purpose, in full possession of my power, in collaboration with his promise. I'm not just a Black woman fighting for space. I am the daughter of Kathleen Ann Fonts. I am a phoenix. I am chosen. I am redeemed. I am reborn as many times as necessary, but nothing, no man, no doubt, no darkness to take away what already was said to be mine. Crown me now.
Don't do that. Girl. Powerful. Powerful. Next we have Khadijah Lewis Khan.
Woo! Well, it's an honor to be here with these women. And Michelle, I feel like that should have been the end right there. Woo! That was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. Um, I would say some things that were not said is that I am a mother of two boys. One is at Howard, a junior, and one is going into college. So I'm about to be an empty nester for the moment. Um, but I've learned so much from my children, and I'm so proud that they're like the next better versions of me and my husband, and have their own missions within this world. I'm an Aquidneck Islander. So but I work in Providence the last 27 years. So I go over the bridge. So, am I really a Rhode Islander? I'm not sure. The bridge is okay for me. And I grew up in a household where we had two religions. My mom was Christian and my dad was Muslim. And I was raised Muslim, though, and I in the month of Ramadan. We have Eid probably tomorrow or Monday, but we fast this month, and that helps to bring a lot of clarity. And that has shaped who I am and the work that I do and the way that I relate to others in this world. And I would also say that my education has been at my early education was a great education, but there wasn't any diversity or very little diversity within it. So that has also shaped, the way that I think education should be, how there should always be mirrors of people within their environment to make sure that everybody's seen and heard and valued, because nurturing who you are is one of the biggest parts of education, not just what you learn. So that has shaped the way that I've shaped Beautiful Beginnings and what I feel community is, and how I feel that education should not be based on how much you have or what resources you have or what color you are or where you live. Um, Everybody should have the resources to have the best foundation possible, because we are limitless when we're given what we need and when we're nurtured and we're seen for who we are. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Khadijah. Wow, you ladies are blowing me away. You're blowing me away. But I have a little song for you that I'm going to play from my phone. And hopefully everybody can hear it, because this song is most fitting and it is instrumental. So I'm going to play a few seconds of it. Can you hear it?
No, we can't hear it.
Okay. I'm playing I'm Every Woman because to me that was just the most fitting song for what everything that we just heard with you all in your introductions, in your yes, you're right. And with, your bios, and just to celebrate a little song and dance, I wanted to jam a little bit. But Zoom is not being my friend tonight, and that's okay because we're going to move on. And now we are going to, oh, well, that's why I chose instrumental. There was no lyrics to this, and I chose music that had no copyright authority. You got to dig for it, but it's there. So now we are going to bring to front and center Dr. Betty Speaks. So Dr. Speaks, please feel free to tell us a little bit about yourself before you empower these beautiful women here on this platform and every single person, the thousands watching on Facebook Live.
Honestly, you could not have done it better tonight to grace the world with phenomenal young ladies that have spoken. Honestly, I was in tears. That's why I had to remove my camera, because we're supposed to support each other, empower each other, not power over each other, but empower one another, lift each other up. And I could sing, lift every voice and sing. You all have been singing tonight. I can see that our ancestors would be so proud of each and every one of you, honestly. So thank you, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful niece, for putting this platform together, not for the first time, but for the fifth time, honestly. And they just keep getting better and better and better. I so love being in the presence of each of you this evening. This is her story, her way, and you all, and her why, but also her way. You've heard different versions of each person that spoke to you tonight, their way of their why and their story. So I'm telling you, my heart is still pumping so fast after hearing from these amazing women. And a Women's History Month message from me is definitely no different than it is from any of you. I am Dr. Betty Speaks, as Shawnee, as Shadell has said. And I love gracing her with the title of ambassador because she too has done some amazing things just there in the state of Rhode Island, not in Providence, but the entire state, things that have impacted the entire state of Rhode Island. So you see, as a proud veteran, cancer survivor, a resilient coach, and a voice for transformation, as we celebrate Women's History Month, I share not just the reflection of my past, and I want to say PAST, but of my past, PASS. So let me tell you, I have to be that. I want to share a bold declaration of my purpose. And my story is one of unwavering peace, a powerful perseverance, and a deep passion not to just leave the earth with nothing being said, but to leave a lasting imprint of civility everywhere I go. That's my lasting imprint to do, is to leave like a footprint or a fingerprint. Some of you are doing amazing imprints that you're doing not only for your community but globally. I've heard about the authors, the singers, and I know that there are more that are there. I have served on both the front lines and friendly lines, both in uniform and in life. You know, you may not have been in the military, but I promise you, you have served some unfriendly lines in your life. And you're not even in a uniform. I've defeated freedom across nations and battled silently with cancer in my own body. I endured pain, faced uncertainty, and conquered the storms and tried to stop that tried to stop me. And I've sensed that with each of you tonight. You've conquered storms that have tried to stop you, but through every trial, I held on to my why. That's why we're here, holding on to your why, to be a light for others, to walk in peace, and to inspire hope. Hold on to that word, okay? Because I'm going to share something with you about that four-letter word. You see, as a civility imprint is more than just a concept to me, it's a lifestyle. When you see something, say something, being kind to others, that's what civility is. It's about modeling the values of respect, compassion, understanding, and unity, even when the world feels divided. In every interaction, you have to strive to leave an imprint that invites others to rise. You heard my sister say, rise higher in how they treat themselves and each other, because true leadership isn't just about influence, it's about impact. This is why I live by two foundations of truth, that is hope and soar. Hope is definitely helping other people excel. Hope is helping other people enjoy life. Hope is helping other people every day. And then there's SOAR. I have so many acronyms with SOAR, but one of my favorites is seizing opportunities and rising, because that's what we as women we do. We rise against them. You see, I was born on Maya Angelou's birthday, and Dr. Martin Luther King was actually killed on my birthday. And yes, 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 I'll be expecting presents from each and every one of you. You might say, well, what day is that, Dr. Speaks? That's April 4th. Don't you know that Maya Angelou talked about Still I Rise? So, given the fact that I was born on that unique day, these acronyms represent the heartbeat of my mission. I pour hope into the hearts that feels forgotten and teach others how to soar beyond what tried to break them. There are some of you that are on the call, some of you that are listening. There is something that tried to break you, but we're here to share with you. Let me tell you, I heard my niece mention someone named Niche, or goes by the name Niche, but my niche is guiding people, especially women, through life's darkest valleys and showing them how to emerge whole, powerful, and filled with purpose. You have to know that. This Women's History Month, I challenge every woman not only to reflect on where she's been, but to boldly step into where she's going. Boldly step there. You are a warrior. You have to know that. And if you've ever received a cash app from me, you'll know that I'm a warrior for life. You are a peacemaker, and you are called to leave a civility imprint that outlives you. Walk in peace, speak with power, live with purpose, and never forget you were born to hope and soar. So again, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. That's not my quote. That's a quote by another young lady, Dr. Angela Davis. That's right. I heard my niece say it again. All right, I will. I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. So you can either come with me or stay behind me. And when you're behind me, I'm going to ask you to pick up my 6. Now that's the essence of the civility imprint. A commitment, a commitment to live with dignity, lead with empathy, and leave a mark of compassion, respect, and unity in every space you encounter, every space you occupy, even on the Zoom or if you're viewing this Zoom. So civility is strength in action. It is being a peacemaker in a divided world and standing tall without tearing others down or tearing others down. So my mission is to pour hope into those who feel forgotten. That's right. Do you feel forgotten? And to show them how to soar beyond life's limitations. My niche is guiding women, especially those who endure trauma, transition, or trials, into their bold, beautiful comeback. You may not control all events that happens to you, but guess what? You can decide not to be reduced by them. That's my sister Maya Angelou. She said that. That's not mine, but it's because I was born on her birthday. I'm going to take some of her advice. As women who have fought for her country, as a woman that has fought for her country and has fought for her life, I know what it means to be broken and rebuilt. I am living proof that adversity doesn't define us. It refines us. Look how fine Shondell is on the camera tonight. Look, and the most courageous act is still to think for yourself, not lowly. Think for yourself aloud. That came from Coco Chanel, and I love her cologne and her perfumes. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud, not softly. So today I honor not only my journey, but yours. I honor your journey. I invite every woman to reflect on the power within her, the peace around her, and the impact she can make. So together, we are more than survivors. We are history makers, hope bringers, and legacy builders. Walk in peace, speak with power, live with purpose, leave a civility imprint, and never forget you were born to hope and soar. Now, let me tell you about the word hero. You see, I am a hero. And what I love about that 4-letter word, it has the word her in hero. And I didn't make this one up on my own either. I saw this somewhere posted. Hero has the word her in it. Whoever created that word, thank you. You see, God birthed in me the spirit of a hero, and I walk in that calling every day. Let me break it down for you. H is hope giver. I share hope with the hopeless because I've been there. E is empower faith. I stand strong not in my own power, but in Christ. R is resilient in trials. We are resilient in our trials. Every storm I face, you face, made us stronger. O, overcomer by grace. You see, our history isn't defined to defeat us. It's marked for victory. I heard someone say that on the call tonight. And then I heard my sister also say, "Give me my crown." You all heard that. Come on, she said, "Give me my crown." So let me tell you about this crown she's asking for. See, it's called chosen. Chosen. You were never a mistake. You were marked for a purpose. So her purpose was definitely spelled out on us tonight because I saw each of you shouting. And then here's the R in her crown. Resilient in the storm. Life through lemons, girl. But we opened a lemonade stand and franchised it. Resilient isn't about avoiding storms. It's about learning the salsa dance in the rain, because we were doing that when she was speaking. So always overcome by faith in her crown. You didn't just survive that betrayal, that diagnosis, or the heartbreaks. You overcame them. Your scars aren't shameful. They're proof you didn't quit. Come on with me now. We're on the W in your crown. We're putting that crown on you, my sister. A real queen doesn't compete. She completes others. We lift, we link arms, and we lean on each other. That's what a real queen does. So now I'll tell you about that N in her crown, noble by nature. It's not about your background. It's about your bloodline. You're a daughter of the king. Walk like you know it. Go ahead and step into it. So as I close for you, my queens, wear your crowns. Ladies, I'm going to tell you to straighten that crown on your head, not just yours, but hers too. Don't forget your sister next to you. We are daughters of the crown. We are daughters of crowns. We live intentionally, love unconditionally, and leave legacies. That's what we do. The enemy tried to knock each of us down, but we got back up with a prayer in our mouth, heels on our feet, and heaven on our side. So next time life whispers, you can't adjust your crown, answer back and watch me.
This mic is hot. This mic is hot, Dr. Speaks. Thank you, 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 thank you. Look, y'all, I told you, look, get your notes. I'm taking the notes. I'm taking the notes. Woo! So many gems. So many gems. I was trying hard. I'm over here. Woo! Thank you so much for those empowering words. Thank you so much for sharing pieces of your testimony. I know if we had more time, you would have been able to dig a little deeper, but I thank you for sharing everything that you were able to pour out. And I pray a refilling of 100-fold to you. I love you so much. Now we're going to go into our questions segment of the evening for the panelists. We have questions for the panelists. So Facebook Live, I know this has been a lot. We are on fire. The mic is hot. The Zoom is hot. The Facebook Live is hot. If you have any questions for the panelists, please put them in the chat, and I will do my best to get to every question and give the panelists an opportunity to answer them. But I'm going to start off with a couple of the questions that I have prepared for the panelists, that they do not have wind of any of these questions, my people. So this is live in living color. This is wait, what's it? Is this real or is this Memorex? This is real. This is real. So the first question that I'm going to start off with is, what does equality mean to you in the context of women's rights? What does equality mean to you in the context of women's rights?
I mean, I think off rip, Shawnee, like Shondell, for me, it's like having autonomy over my body, over my mind, over women things. Like equality is allowing women to make decisions for themselves. I feel like men make decisions for us because they feel like we're not capable, smart, strong enough to make these decisions. And so for me, equality really is rooted in like giving us our autonomy for real.
I love that. That answer, ooh, I just got chills. Come on. Anybody else? Does anyone else want to answer that? Thank you so much for that, Mish.
For me, it's choice, voice, and freedom, and acknowledging that not all women also start at the same place, right? So women of color, Black women, immigrant women, LGBTQ plus women, women with disabilities who have trauma in their past or have been oppressed, right? It means that not women are not in the same starting place. I also think equality means that as women, we're allowed to rest, we're allowed to be soft and strong at the same time if that's what we need. We shouldn't have a one box fits all for women at all.
Thank you. I love that. Does anyone else want to answer?
I think equality also includes acknowledging the I would say sometimes unacknowledged work that women do to keep everything together in the society. So that goes along with rest, allowing them rest, valuing the work that they do that a lot of time is not compensated or not compensated as it should be, respecting their voice, giving them their flowers, and also giving them their time to rejuvenate and rest, because women's work holds the society together, but oftentimes it is very invisible.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for bringing that one up too. But yeah, all that invisible work that we do that doesn't get seen or valued as much as the things out in the world. Um, yeah, so definitely about choice and being able to make our own decisions and being recognized equally. And as I think Carleen was saying, yeah, that it's about all women, not just some women. And there were waves of feminism and white feminism, which was excluding, women of color and Black women and LGBTQ communities. So when we say equality, we really mean all, all women, and not leaving others out or behind.
I'll move on to the next question if no one else wants to jump in. So the next question that we have is, how can we empower women and girls to reach their full potential?
All right, so I'll jump in for this one because I have a passion for it. I think one of the first things that I like to teach other women to reach their full potential is to forgive yourself for what you did not know. Forgive yourself for making the mistakes of things that were not taught to you. Forgive what you have done. And I think self-forgiveness is something that we struggle with so much. Therefore, we're not able to reach that potential because every day we're being reminded of that. And that's why I'm so big on the you still matter, because every single day you have to be reminded that you still matter. And I think giving ourselves the grace, forgiving ourselves, right? We're so big on forgiveness to other, but forgive yourself for being that broken little girl, for not knowing better, for letting people downplay you, for not taking full advantage of who you are, for not voicing your opinion. Forgive yourself for letting that man walk all over you. Forgive yourself for just bashing yourself and not believing in yourself. And I think once you step into that self-forgiveness, you're able to see yourself different. You're able to look in the mirror and say to yourself, I'm still worthy, and go out into the world and become all that you were meant to be, right? And so for one of those answers, I would definitely say self-forgiveness. Forgive yourself. To anybody on here who's watching Facebook Live, wherever you're watching from, forgive yourself, and it'll make the pathway easier for you to reach your full potential.
I love it. Jump right in, ladies.
I love that. I want to just preface that, and maybe it could be the humanistic part of me. Sometimes full potential in itself, just even those words together, could be very overwhelming for people to say. So I probably will reframe it, because that's what I love to do, and to see if it could be more in alignment with your authentic self. Because sometimes we may not reach our fullest potential, and we don't want to get upset because we don't get to that highest, right? But we want to try to align as much as we can with our authentic self. And what that is introspection, really being comfortable with learning how to sit alone with yourself, sitting alone with your thoughts. And it could be very, very scary to do that. But taking the moment to pause to be able to do that, because we're so busy being somebody to everybody else that we forget to pour back into ourselves, so that we can really take evaluation of, who am I in this season? Am I even supposed to be serving over here in this season? Like, the introspection is really key, and being able to give yourself permission, right? Because sometimes we don't think we can, or sometimes we don't think that we're allowed to. Granted ourselves permission to slow down and really do that internal evaluation, so that we would get more alignment with our authentic self.
I love that. And thank you for the reframing, because even after I wrote that sentence, like I would have, in not my speedy, self, probably would have said exactly that. So I appreciate that, because everyone does not reach their full potential of life. And they, a lot, especially as women, we can tend to beat ourselves up with ageism and all of these other things, and feeling like it's too late, we're too old, and now it's my kid's time, my time is over. No, 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 no. I told my husband the other day, Colonel Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken started at like 66 or 64. So we're not doing the ageism thing over here on Wales. So thank you. Anybody else?
That was amazing. I think I said something earlier. We have to celebrate and not criticize. When she cries, you cry with her or pray with her. And if she's going through something, you just be there for her. And if she is, when she's celebrating, you celebrate her as well. Honestly, I have to say we have to promote and do self-worth with other women and girls. We honestly have to create safe spaces, especially for our daughters, just create that safe space for them so they don't get caught up in the wrong atmosphere. And I will tell you this quote that affirmations also is another thing that I would say we can empower women and girls with. Give them those affirmations, leave them on the refrigerators, the mirrors, or leave them a text message or something. And then a strong woman stands up for herself. A stronger woman stands up for others. So we have to know that when that strong woman is standing up, she also stand up for others as well.
If it's not too late, I want to add in here because I'm a girl's girl through and through. I think one of the most important things that I've learned on my journey is to surround myself with women who support me, who lift me up, who correct me with love, who correct me with a knuckle sandwich if they need to. Like I have best friends, Carly. Me and Carlene go back to high school, like I can still consider her one of my really good friends. I have friends since I was 8 years old that are still friends with me. I have friends that I met 2 years ago, but because our lives are aligned and our values and stuff are aligned, it's still a strong bond. Like I've been in some dark depths in my life, and if it wasn't for the women around me, including my mother, like if it wasn't for the women around me, I wouldn't be here. I'm a very big nerd. Like I love animal documentaries, and I don't know if you guys know much about elephants, but in the elephant herd, the aunts, the grandmothers, the sisters, they all are responsible for the young, for each other. Like it's a matriarch, like that's the head. Like in a wolf pack, it's usually a male. In an elephant herd, it's a woman. Like, and for me, I live like that. Like community is everything. So in my community are women who continuously encourage me to be better, and not by like trying to down me, but by like, sis, look, they're not gatekeeping information, they're sharing opportunities. Like it's like it's love. Like, and when you find those people, you don't let them go. Don't let them go.
Thank you. Anybody else? Before we move on to the next one?
I want to say that, we generally need to support, our young women, who is going through the struggle. I have one that I'm closely working with who, has been struggling a big deal, with addiction, and not knowing what her self-worth is. One thing about, you know, um, talking to these young girls, you have to come down to their level, and you have to meet them where they are, and remind them, listen, this is where I was, right? Because we can't be always up here. We got to come down. Jesus, he came down for the people. He wasn't high. He came down. And so this is what we need to do as women to inspire these young women that they are somebody. They are somebody. And let them know, listen, I've been where you were. I know how it feels to have low self-esteem. I've been there. I know how it feels to be talked about. I know how it feels to be told that you're not going to amount up to anything. I know how it feels. And so just to reassure them, kind of builds a rapport, right? And this is what we want to do, is build a rapport with them and to let them know, listen, even though you feel like you're nobody, but you are somebody. And then letting them know and encouraging them, who they are will go a long way.
Thank you so much for that, Pastor Hood. I really love that. We have to learn to go down to the level of some people, because some of us just be too high in the clouds, and they can't relate to the advice that you're giving them. They're looking at you like a deer in the headlights, and they might say yes, then they go home and they're like, I don't know what the heck she just said to me. I don't get it. They're so lost, and then they're looking for love in all the wrong places. So that's what we have to do. We have to be real, we have to be transparent, we have to be patient. And Mish, one thing that I tell the kids that I work with on Mondays is, when I ask them questions and they don't answer, I love the elephant analogy. Mind you, I have the three elephants little in my living room, and I have three elephants in my dining room. And I tell the kids, the students, the young people, I say, I have the patience of an elephant. I really don't care if you don't answer right now. I will give you space and we have time. And so now, because of that, and they understand that we're not rushing through the classroom, and they understand who I am as a teacher, they are now, communicating and being involved in their healing process, because I teach um, healing and leadership and mindfulness at the school. So something else I do. Next, we have a question from the Facebook audience, and it says, how do you slow down when you have so many responsibilities, challenges, etc.? How do you slow down?
Oh, can I answer that? I'm sorry. I get so excited. Well, first of all, I gotta shout out Coach Precious, okay? Because I used to say that all the time. I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. And she showed me how to slow down. She showed me how there's opportunities in my schedule that I could schedule myself into. Sometimes it may be a little bit of sacrifice if I need to wake up a little bit earlier, that 4 a.m., 5 a.m., to get the day started a little bit early, even though, you may have some late nights. But I will say, like, if you're not able to do it on your own, get with somebody or a coach that's able to help um highlight to you ways that you can slow down, that you can be able to restructure and reprioritize yourself, because we tend to prioritize everything else, and that's what really pushes us away further from what we need to do. So if you're not able to do that on your own, see somebody that's able to get you there to see how you can get that slowdown and self-care, because if not, your body will slow you down for you.
I'd like to I'd like to add to that because I used to say that and I'm still busy. But I realized what I had to do was set space. If I am going to work on this project, I am going to do it in this space. I am not going to run it over to another space because after a while, your mind and your thinking will become crazy and everything is overlapping and you become overwhelmed. So, in this space where I work at, I focus on this. But if I want to work on doing a message, I find another space because everything can get crazy. And next thing you know, you don't even know where you are. What is the priorities? And you don't have any priorities because just like Contessa said, everything is a priority. And then when it comes to your family, get another space. So what are you saying? I'm not saying use the whole house, but I'm saying find you a space. Find you a space. Even if, somewhere in the war room, I love that movie because they found themselves a space to even just to worship, just to get their lives together. She found a space. And then you have others. So that's what I do to help me because I was working in one space and it seemed like I could never get nothing done because everything was overwhelming. My desk became over. I didn't even have a desk. I just had whatever, but then now I have really prioritized my space and that helped me.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else, I'm going to answer that one, but does anyone else have any input? Let's hear from some.
Yeah.
I have a couple
Yes.
ones.
Okay, go ahead.
One is that I believe we're not meant to like stay in the box of like our house or these buildings, or we need to get out into nature. So even if you can just take a walk and see the sun, feel the sun on your body, get some fresh air, look at something green. And, we have beaches in Rhode Island or forests or whatever you can do. We're natural human beings, and I think a lot of time we can feel overwhelmed just because we haven't reconnected with nature. Meet up with a friend, walk and talk. That's like a little bit of therapy. But I agree, it can feel hard sometimes. But for me personally, I always feel recharged when I add a little nature to the routine and you get a reset. And scientifically, it's proven too to help reset your nervous system and all those things. So I would recommend adding that.
Dr. Speaks?
I'm pretty much sure that you and I are probably going to say the same thing because we usually think alike, and we basically have some of the same beliefs. But I would definitely say pause and prioritize. Definitely, if you don't have, if it's not for you to do right then and there, don't do it. And you own your own time, your own space. You can practice saying no. Sometimes I have to say, I'm sorry, I'm working on something else right now, and I'll pray, I'll add that to my prayers or something similar. But you have to own your own time. You have to definitely practice prioritizing a lot of things. Take a pause break, like the young lady just said. Do a getaway, a griefcation, a vacation, a staycation, a mentalcation. Take that mental exit to be able to, what did they say? When you have so much going on, you have to say no. Build your mini breaks. I'm gonna let Shondell speak because I have tried to get on her calendar a couple of times. Auntie Betty, I'm busy right now. Can we talk about that? Let me see. Let me see. After I get back from Jacksonville next week or something, so you do you and be happy in your own, live intentionally for eternity. That's life. So I'm gonna let Shondell, because I know what she's gonna say, because I've been there with her before.
You said, of course, the same things that I was going to say, but one thing that I will highlight differently is when you have a lot of responsibilities on your plate, get some accountability partners or people that you can trust that you may be able to designate and delegate some things to. There are a lot of times that we just don't ask for help. There are a lot of times when we feel like we are going to burden someone because we are asking for support and then we get burnt out because other people don't even know that we have all of these things on our plate and we need their support. So I like to say sometimes you just got to put a little smoke signal or a little clarion call out there and let people know when you have a ton of things going on, yes, prioritize. Yes, time management, but what does your support system look like? What are some things that can actually be taken off your plate and delegated to other people to ease up your pain? So if anyone else wants to add, I will just drop the next question if we're ready. Okay, the next question that we have, and I hope that everyone in the audience is eating this up because these answers are phenomenal. The next question that we have is how can you ensure that women's voices, that's supposed to say, are heard and valued in decision-making processes? How can we ensure that? Some of you shared it in your bio.
I think always just being sure to make space for women at the table where decisions are being made. As simple as that. Like, you have to invite women to the table. And if you can't invite multiple women to the table, make sure that you're meeting with enough women and getting enough input from enough women that when you sit at that table, your voice is representative as many women as possible. I think we feel there's this image that I see, and it's like one little fish going against a shark, and the shark's mouth is like very big, and the little fish is here. But then it has like a bunch of little fish that kind of shape into a big shark, and it becomes bigger than the shark. So like collectively, that's what I'm trying to get at. Collective action is how you dismantle any type of oppressive system. You have to get together. So if you're the only woman voice at that table, make sure your voice is loud and bold and representative of as many women as possible when you're giving your opinion on a decision, for sure.
Thank you for that, Mish. Anyone else? So we'll dive into the next question. Okay. The next question is, what are some of the most effective strategies you have used in your workplace or profession that could help someone seeking to be recognized as a leader in their workplace, industry, or ministry?
Coach Betty, I hope you're doing well.
I'm sorry, can you rephrase that question?
Yes. it says, what are some of the most effective strategies you have used in your workplace or profession that you could help someone who's seeking to be recognized with maybe a promotion or growth as a leader in their particular workplace, ministry, or the marketplace? What are some effective strategies that you've used to gain leadership?
This is what I would do is take the limits off. Get her to think big because they are not sure if they should be recognized. But we need to, you know, as Pastor Shirley was talking about, making sure that we meet them at where they are, and then also lift the bound, lift the bar, so that they can go fully to their potential, and then continue to graduate her up and up. She will. And next thing you know, she is able to do and think and become a great leader.
I would like to say also, giving these strategies is to really give someone the opportunity. I think it's so important that we make space and give these people the opportunity to work a certain role, right? Maybe I've been doing this for 10 years and there's other young women around me that are seeking to be in different positions in leadership. Going back to that delegation, allow these women the opportunity to step into what they did not even think that they were capable of doing. I think when I look at that, I even think for myself, there were times that I was pushed into some opportunities that I'm like, oh, no, 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 like I'm in the back. This is not what I do. But because the opportunity was given to me, I know now and I have discovered that I am able to do something that I never imagined that I would be able to do. Therefore, it allows me to really become more of a leader because now there's other young women coming right behind me, right? There's always another young woman behind you. There's always the next one up. And we have to be reminded that, hey, the one ahead of me gave me an opportunity when I didn't even think I was good enough to be in that opportunity. And because of that, now look, here I am, right? So I think making the opportunity is such a big strategy. We're just saying, hey, I know you're not used to doing this, but guess what? Today you're going up. Today you're going to do the reading. Today you're going to do the call. Today you're going to open up. Today you're going to conduct. And it's like, what? Me? And once it's done, you have a new ability now. It's yours. So I think opportunity is so big. Just present the opportunity for those who are ready and that you see that are looking and seeking to be recognized in a leadership position.
I love that. And also to what I think someone said piggyback. Yeah, you have to have the opportunity has to exist, first of all. And then there has to be some sort of training. You have to have the training has to be there. They have to want to take the training. They have to show initiative. And if you can guide them in those directions of, hey, look, show your initiative, start volunteering, and then that position will open up to you because a lot of people volunteer and before they even get hired for a job or for that next position. So I agree with what Lee said. Definitely that, make sure that the opportunity is there and then make sure that training for those positions are there. Sometimes you don't necessarily want to push someone into a position, especially if it's customer service, because you have to have thick skin in some of the positions that you are pushed into. But definitely, they need to show the initiative to want to excel, and that person can inspire them again with hope, push them into that hope so they can soar.
I love that Dr. Speaks. Dr. Juliet Pender McBride said to be a sounding board for other women as well. I love that. I'm going to ask Khadijah to answer this question before we move on.
I would say really encourage people to do things scared, because like anything that is going to stretch you is out of your comfort zone. And um a lot of us don't want to get out of our comfort zone. Like, I might not like to speak in public, or but you have to stretch yourself, and it is going to be uncomfortable, but that's the only way you're going to know how good you can be and how you can move into new areas. So I think a lot of times people want to stay comfortable, and I can definitely relate to that as well. But I try to push people to do things anyway, even though they don't think they can, because a lot of times you can see things in other people that they don't see in themselves. Things that are easy for people, they take it for granted, but it's a gift, and you can see with just like a little bit of opportunity and like a little push and some mentorship, but just encourage people to do it scared. I know you're scared, but you'll be okay. We'll be here and do it anyway. And that's the only way you're going to find out how you can grow.
Can I add something to this too? I'm gonna go off track and say that some places, the hard truth is, like, some workplaces, no matter where you are, we're never built to see you, right? Especially if you have a certain vision, your authenticity, right? We often stay in places where we've outgrown, or we were never meant to be there in the first place, right? Staying there for too long, hoping that if we work harder, we're going to get recognized. If we do more, if we volunteer, they're never going to see you, right? The truth is, some systems are never there to validate you, no matter how much you give. So my advice is, like, stop waiting for that recognition. Create your own lane, create your own thing, align yourself with people who see you, people who value you, who feel you, for who you are, right? Because recognition, it hits different when it's rooted in alignment, not approval, right? Sometimes we're looking for that approval, and in my previous life, I tell people I was on the city council. I had executive director jobs, all these things. I never got my flowers, quote unquote, right? When you're recognized for those positions. But now that I'm living in my truth, that I'm healing out loud, I'm being somebody else's survival story, I'm getting my flowers because it's rooted in alignment. So what I can tell people is, like, one of the most important acts of self-love is knowing when to stop shrinking and being in places that don't value you, because those places will always exist, but it's in our control. It's not in our power to be there or not. And as Black women, we have the opportunity to do that and to create our own lane, because guess what? We've always done it. Look at history.
Snap, 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 snap. I want to add one little thing before we go on to the next question. And I wasn't going to, but what I wanted to say was I took it upon myself to find personal and professional development opportunities while at work. And I encourage other people to do that. And you guys know, I work for the mayor's office, and I made sure that they paid for those opportunities for me. I was not paying for professional development and personal development to be a better executive director, to be a better senior advisor. No, those are transferable tools that I was able to take with me and add to my toolbox. But I made sure that because people's foot was on my neck and didn't want to give me the opportunities, they didn't want to allow me to be seen or recognized, but I fought my way to the top, swinging with no gloves on. And so what I will say is, I love what you said, Carlene. Some systems are created for us not to be seen. And do not stay in a place that does not value you and does not align with your beliefs. Stop doing it. There are other checks that you could get. And if you want to do what you're actually called to do, 9 out of 10 times, it's not a job. I am so sorry. Everyone is not created to work a 9 to 5, and I say it all the time. I'm like, maybe you're not meant to work a 9 to 5. Like, you're so creative. Like, why aren't you taking the tools that you have, the gifts that you have? You're dripping with oil all over your life. Nobody could do what you do. Nobody could say it how you say it. Why don't you create a business plan and do what it is that you need to do to establish freedom? Do it scared, like Khadijah said. Do it scared.
I think along with that, Shawnee and Carlene, is like, don't feel so much loyalty to a place that you stay there. Like, yeah, even if a place supported you to like get your degrees, get like these certificates and stuff, yes, that's all good and well, but don't feel so much loyalty that you stop yourself from elevating because you don't want to like leave a place and feel bad because they kind of helped you when you was down. That's not, don't be victim to your loyalty is basically what I'm saying. If an opportunity presents itself, like Livani said, say yes to that opportunity. Like Dr. Speaks said, prepare for that opportunity. Make sure you get your PDs in and get the successful plan from the people who are supervising you. And like Shawnee said, do the work on your own too. You gotta teach yourself. Like, they're not gonna teach you because they don't want us to be successful. You have to teach yourself. This is how they keep us in oppressive states, because a lot of times we don't go look for the information on our own. We're waiting for it to be fed to us, and they're not going to give it to us. We have to be our own good soil and teach each other. That's all. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Thank you so much. And I'm going to tell you that Dr. Hume Johnson had a professional development course, and I took that. I walked my happy little self from City Hall over to the hotel, and I took that professional development class that whole day. So you just have to do what you have to do. The next, no problem, Queen. You got it. The next question, and we're gonna wrap up. The next question is, what are some of the most inspiring examples of women resilience, leadership, or activism that you have encountered personally or indirectly?
Shondell, I just want to say before Michelle answers this question, tell her to put that knife down.
I'm trying to cook for my babies. I'm sorry.
That's a good question. That's honestly a good question, and it is tough to answer because of just where we are in today's world. You know, we have to be careful of how we answer certain things. But yeah, that's a good question, and I'm gonna yield the mic to one of the other ladies.
I'll share just some of the leaders that I've been the most inspired by don't have a title or a position, but they take like leadership of themselves very seriously, and therefore they help any environment that they're in. So like, I work with a lot of inspiring teachers and administrators. Um, and it's not a position. I feel like leadership isn't a position. It's just how you conduct yourself and the light that you shine when you are authentic, you're yourself, you are dedicated, and you actually change the world around you through. And the other thing is, I've been inspired by a lot of community leaders, like people that have changed systems. So, I mean, I feel like you can do what you can in your little small environment, and that helps, and that might shine a light on something. But a lot of things require systems change. So we're changing the laws, changing, the ordinances, changing funding streams, bringing attention to the systems that are holding the antiquated ways of action in place. So that really inspires me, because we need to, and now, especially in this day and age, we need to look at the systems that are like oppressing people and keeping people from moving forward, and working to change those things. That's the only thing that is going to really create like generational impacts. So
Yeah, and I want to add to that too, is that the way I value women, um, especially in leadership roles, um, they have a sense of humility when they are faced with adversity. Um, and any woman who is in leadership roles are going to face adversity. I don't care what role that you play, you're going to face adversity especially from your counterparts, right? Because you hold something that they don't have. So by them coming at you, what you have, right? Um, they People often try to belittle you, right? But if we are women that have such humbleness, in the face of that, um, then we will be able to conquer, right? And I have seen and even witnessed some women in my past life, in my life, had faced so much adversity, but then they use their humbleness to get over that. And I think that's one of the qualities that should stand out for women, that is out in the forefront, uh, that will be able to handle things of that nature. And when you do work with women like that, those are the type of women that you will always see. They're not always in the background, but you will always, always see. And they're always trying to make a difference, regardless of what may come at them. Those are the women that I have witnessed, and those are the women that we should be as well.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to answer before we go to our last question of the
Oh,
evening?
I would say something. Hi. Yeah, I'm thinking about this. I think about locally here in Providence, um, especially when I started blogging and the anti-racism journey and work that I try to do in all the spaces and show up as this, I can't even say middle-aged, older than middle-aged white Jewish woman. That there's so many great Black women and women in color of Providence that I've come to respect and admire so much for all the great work they do. I got to meet you, Shonda. But people like Diana Garlington, Pilar McLeod, Helen Baskerville Dukes, Henrietta Holder, Gloria Johnson, Lauren Case, Jessica Brown, April Brown, Angie Newman, Tanisha Sproul Dennis, Angie Ancoma. So because I like to keep my focus too on local and what we can do here locally to change the system, as Khadija was talking about. And so I always have so much, get so much inspiration from these women and more that I just named.
Thank you all so much for that. The last question of the evening is, this is for all of the moms of girls or young girls who may be listening to this live stream. And we don't know that you might be listening on the side of your mom or in another room. I want us to take a moment and invite your 13-year-old self in to listen. This is for the nominees. Take a moment to invite your 13-year-old self in to listen. What advice would you share with her based on the experiences and wisdom you have gained today?
I would say, take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Don't rush the process. Take your time. When your opportunity comes, it will come. You don't always have to chase after it, but take your time. Let that divine purpose find you, and let that divine purpose take you where you need to go. Because there is more to what it is out there. There's more for you to see. There is more opportunity that is going to be presented. But mostly, I would say, take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
I want to say, listen to these women that are strong, these strong women where I can learn. So I can feel myself as a 13-year-old receiving. No one's yelling at me. No one's saying you ought to do, but I can listen to the tone. And when I hear this kind of tone, I can receive more and better. I mean, as a 13-year-old, and I'm talking as a 13-year-old, because we have and I, I might be telling my age, but back in the day, they did a lot of yelling. And you got to, and they did a lot of demanding. Now, generations are wiser. So they need to be heard and talked to, not talked down to, but talked to. And then ask them, what did you hear? And so I think the tone of this platform was beautiful. And as a 13-year-old, I feel that I would have received more by listening.
I would say to my 13-year-old self, open up your mouth and say what you feel. Even if it's going to be an inconvenience to other people, even if your answer is yes and everybody in the room's answer is no, open up your mouth and tell people how you feel about a situation and don't feel like your voice does not matter. I know everybody around you has told you, be quiet, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. And so you've carried that over to every relationship, every friendship, every room you step in is, let me sit in the back because what I feel inside, what I have to say, my opinions are not going to bring anything good to the table. So I would say, open up your mouth. Stop being a people pleaser. Stop looking to just say yes to everybody to make them happy. If you don't want to do it, say no. And it's not going to hurt you. If people do not like your answer, they're not the ones that are meant to be in your life. And that is okay. The right people will come and appreciate your authentic self just the way you are. Open up your mouth because your voice matters, even if you're just 13 and don't know too much about life.
I would say that the things that you think are wrong with you are probably your superpower.
I would tell my 13-year-old self that they're gonna bury you. They're gonna bury you, but beautiful things come when you're buried. Seeds are buried and you become flowers. Diamonds are buried under rock, and rocks are what is it? Coal that's buried under pressure, and it becomes diamonds. Like it's okay to be buried because beautiful things grow when you're buried.
Yeah, I would say it's okay that you're quiet, like to be who you are, and accept yourself, and you're okay, you're enough. I used to think, everyone who got in touch and who could speak up, or was very assertive and outgoing, and so I always thought there was something wrong with me. But I also realized, like it's a good quality because I was very observant person, and it's made me the writer that I am because I was paying attention. So really, just to be yourself and be who you are and know that you are a good person and enough and deserve to be who you are in your own way.
I'll go. I'm getting emotional because my inner Carlene, she's always with me. And she tells me more about myself than I can ever tell her because she's survived things that nobody should ever have to. And she would tell me that she sees me, she sees the woman that I've become, the mother, and that she is so damn proud of me. And she would tell me that I don't have to protect her anymore, that I can slow down, that I can rest, that I can heal, that I can love again. And she tells me all the time that you're worthy. No accomplishment, no title, no anything will make you worthy because God created you just how He wanted to create us. So she would tell me, thank you for not giving up on her when the whole world was against you. So she would tell me she's so proud of the beautiful life that we've created together.
Thank you. I would say, ooh, I was thinking while you all were talking, and then Colleen got me so emotional. Oh my God. I would say to my 13-year-old self is that you matter. You are not your trauma, and your voice needs to be heard. You are not invisible. People see you, but you feel like people don't see you because God is protecting you. So it's okay to go through life and figure it out, but don't go it alone. My 13-year-old self was in a very dark place for a very long time. And like you, Carlene, now she is safe and she is proud. And it's okay. Thank you guys so much for accepting this opportunity to join this panel discussion. It has really, really empowered me to continue on. I was thinking about doing another event. I'm like, I have to do another event before Powerhouse. Now y'all just sealed the deal that voices need to be heard, that these discussions need to continue, and that if I'm going to be the vessel that God has called me to be, then I'm just going to be the vessel that God has called me to be, whether whoever likes it or not. So that is my advice to you all. Continue to walk in your truth, continue to walk in your power, and do not allow the silence to take you over. The silence is a lie. Being quiet is okay, Wendy, but the silence is a lie. Do not allow anyone to silence your voice. Walk in your truth, walk in your power, walk in love, walk in light. I love you all, and God bless you. Have a good night.